Two.
Okay. Yeah. So
Some thoughts on Bitcoin Core developing funding. This is from Schmitty. Um, yeah. Yep.
yeah. So this is another top post from Schmitty this week. I guess Adam Back, there was some thread on X where they were talking about developer funding, and Adam Back had a take on it, which he admitted was, kind of removed from actually being knowledgeable about it. And so Schmitty stepped in and helped Adam Back, I think, understand what's going on. But he basically said basically pointed to this report by 1A1Z, which lays out in great detail everything that's going on in Bitcoin developer funding, where the money's coming from, how much is getting spent a year. We spend about, I think in 2023, it was like 8.4 million was spent on Bitcoin, Bitcoin, like direct Bitcoin funding, and all the organizations involved, etc. And then the way Schmitty sees it, using Adam Back's points is to sort of jump off. And so we have 30 to 40 full-time engineers maintaining and hardening the network for the $2.5 trillion network is what he says. And says that as like, that seems to be the right amount. Like we have $2.5 trillion. You probably don't want fewer than 30 to 40 people on it. Full time is what he says there. And then Adam Back also said that there's been too much funding, and it's given to people without clear direction. And then Schmitty argues that you actually we're still underpaying the people. I mean, a lot of these developers are true wizards and could get paid a lot of money in industry. I've seen them in industry getting paid very well, and they usually take a huge pay cut to come and work on Bitcoin because they view it as important for, the future and the world they care about. And so they work on it. And then, yeah, I think it's generally it's just kind of bringing Adam back up to date on the state of the network. And if anyone's curious, or the state of developer funding in Bitcoin, if anyone's curious, I would check out that one A1Z post as well. It has some graphs in there and some other details. I think one of the things that's like a little hard to look at is that it's something like 90% of the money, and even though we have many more like developer funding nonprofits now in Bitcoin, 90% of the money comes from Jack Dorsey. But what's nice about that is the report says that they've talked to most of the organizations, and the organizations say sometimes it's contractually such that Jack Dorsey has no say over what they actually get to spend money on. But that is like that's probably we have we have a growing diversity of people funding Bitcoin, which is great. It's probably what we need. But we don't while the organizations are diversified and the decision making about where the money going is nice and decentralized. It's still like originating from one major donor. Well, then of course a lot of the developers, given that they're working for less money, are also are donating their time. And then there's a lot of people in Bitcoin who donate their time without getting compensation, and that's kind of hard to factor in. And that's maybe the more decentralized aspect of that. But anyway, that's the post.
Cool. It was funny because I went on the Build on Bitcoin podcast this week.
Is that a Breeze podcast?
No, it's a podcast by Lynn.
Alden?
No. Another VC, but she'd asked me my thoughts on like all the developer Bitcoin stuff and funding and all that stuff.
What's the one-liner?
Oh, I had a really spicy take on it, and yeah, you got to tune in.
I knew you were going to do that. I was trying to
it's coming out.
Sneak it out.
It's coming out on Monday,
okay.
But she was kind of shocked by my answer. She was like, "Really? Is that your?" I was like, "Yeah, that's my take on it." So you have to check it out. It's coming out Monday. Build on Bitcoin.
Build On
But
Bitcoin podcast.
I was just being honest. I'm always honest about this stuff, and people don't want to hear honesty these days. So that's why they don't ask me. If you did, then you would want to hear.
Well, they don't want to hear things they disagree with.
Yeah, that's probably more what it is. And
I don't think they mind honesty as long as it's what they agree with.
And I just shoot straight from the hip, honestly. You know.